and we should be live now. Assuming everything is working. Okay, cool. I see it. I see that we're live. I've got a chat. I've got everything. Oh my goodness. Thank you, YouTube gods, if that's a thing. Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, D-bags? Sorry for the late start. Everything like that. I'm not going to name my guest, but why don't you speak real quick, just say a couple of words so McKenna can make sure that the audio is working properly.
Can y'all hear me? Hello? They can hear me?
Okay, yeah, it's a little delayed, so we'll know in a second.
Okay.
We're good. Okay, she's got you. She's got you. We're all good to go. D-Talks, D-Bags, how are you guys? Super excited to be here. You know, having technical difficulties 86 episodes deep always humbles you, so feels good. It feels good. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well, and thank you for tuning in to another live episode of the D-Talks podcast. My name is Darren Rita. Feel free to connect with me at any of the links down below. And if you're new here and you enjoy music, podcasts, or comedy, do consider subscribing. We're on our way to 700 subs, and I think we can hit that here pretty soon. Before I introduce you guys to my new guest, though, and get started with the show, I got to talk to you guys a little bit about car insurance. These days, it seems as if we're able to do more and more from home. So while you're at home, why aren't you saving money on your car insurance? Your hometown agency, Kenosha Auto Insurance, specialized for years in simple, hassle-free car insurance using the latest and touch-free technology to help you and your family get the best rates. So what are you waiting for? Give them a call today at 262-448-4141. That's 448-4141. And the website is kenoshains.com. One last time, that's 262-448-4141. Now, if you're just joining us if you're rejoining us, I should say, after we had some technical difficulties, then you already know who my guest is. But if you're joining now or you're listening on Spotify the day after, I got to do this the right way, the proper way. So now that I've got all that nonsense out of our way here, I'm super pumped. I'm happy to be introducing you guys to my guest this week. He was my old college teammate and roommate several years ago. And we and very well, very good friends during that time we were. And he actually shares the same birthday as me. He's a sincere and funny dude. So let's give a wet D-Talks welcome to my guy, Curtis Rankins. Second time's a charm. How are you, man? How are you? I already know how you are, but it's good. It's good finally being able to hear you, and the audience can hear you now too.
Can y'all hear me?
They should be able to hear you now. McKenna's getting it on her end, so it should be good. What is going on, dog? What's going on other than dealing with me and my nonsense of technical difficulties?
Just working, pretty much. I'm trying to get big.
Trying to get swole?
Yeah, I'm trying to see how I look.
Trying to put on some weight. You've always been a lean guy. You've been a
still
lean.
I'm still there. It's nothing changed.
Nothing's changed there.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You still hooping regularly?
Whenever I get a chance, but I'm not working.
Got you. And I know you were in the chat last week with Jamal's talking about Jamal's gym. You gonna hit up Jamal's Grind Factory soon?
I asked him, can I come today? He's supposed to let me know like the day before after he's on the show.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's him this time. It ain't me. I'm ready.
Okay.
He just hasn't hit me back up yet.
Yeah, you gotta get in there. It sounds like a good time. It sounds fun. I gotta get in there too. I'd like to check it out. So we'll have to go. You mentioned when we were talking off air that you're working at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yep.
Which I've never been to. So that's why I say it with like these wide eyes, because I've never been, and I love cheesecake, and I'm fat as fuck, and would love to come eat some cheesecake with you, and then we could play some basketball beforehand and then eat some cheesecake.
Yeah. I'll eat cheesecake.
Have you tried it? That's a no. That's a no.
Tried it like 2 years ago. It was like 2 years ago.
Okay, you need to try it again. Have you ever had Oreo cheesecake?
That's the one I haven't tried.
That's next
we
level. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to get some. It's next level. So for those of you guys who don't know, Curtis and I, we go way back. We met each other through basketball back when I was playing in college. We met like the first or second week of tryouts. I can't remember specifically, and eventually ended up being roommates and living together for some time. So, but before we get into all that, we're going to talk just a little bit about how Curtis has moved around a ridiculous amount of times, bouncing back. We were talking, off air about how you're deciding when and where you want to go back to school and where you
Yeah.
want to live, because you've been jumping around states. What's up with that? What's up with moving so much?
Well, I'm just trying to find somewhere that fit me, basically, like what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, because you,
And
you you moved to Vegas for a while,
yeah,
and how
so
was
it
that?
first started out. So after I graduated, I went to Florida for like 7 months, and I
Yeah.
came back. And then I just went out there again to visit. And then my brother ended up moving to Vegas, and he asked me to come out there and stay with him. So I tried it out. I didn't like it, so I wanted to give it a second try, and nothing changed. So
And so these tries, as you mentioned it, were like very
like
like 5 6 month stints, right?
yeah, like I was trying to get school, jobs, and like all that. And the schools would come, but
Hmm.
the jobs, like I wouldn't get a job.
Oh gosh. So what kind of jobs were you looking for? Kind of like similar, like working in food, like at Cheesecake, or like were you trying to get like maybe an entry level job at like a bigger company?
Just something like Walmart, like retail, like basically so I can get past like we going to school, like have money in my pocket.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Damn, is there how is like the job market like that slim in Vegas, or you think maybe you're just applying at the wrong places?
I feel like it's like it came down to the interview. Like I feel like it was the stuff I said. Like once I'm from Chicago, and like they like it's like I'm a terrorist basically. Like
Oh
I'm
man.
not from Vegas.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow. So
I
you
came in
were
with a different state ID. Like I don't have nothing that say Vegas on it. I have all like Wisconsin stuff.
Oh, so they're all like, well, we don't know if this guy like even lives
Yeah,
here
like
type thing.
yeah, like I don't have no references like in Vegas, like in the state of Nevada. Like I don't have nothing. But me,
Yeah. Wow. I definitely think that could be intimidating. I know I had mentioned when we were off air just before we went live how it must have been difficult to, meet people and meet people that are solid and that you can really mesh well with. And I was
yeah,
curious as to what it would be like to move around so much like that. Is it like this? Is it difficult?
yeah, it's very difficult because you don't know nobody, so you have to like go off your instinct. Like say you go into the gym, you have to like become friends with somebody.
Hmm.
Like anybody that you see like that connect with you. It's not that easy because people don't they like you weird. They don't trust you. You don't do what they do. You don't talk how they talk. So
Yeah. So is it where have you seen, or I guess what's the best way to maybe, I don't know if I wouldn't, obviously you're probably not like a professional at making friends and meeting people, but like what's the best way for someone like yourself, or for anybody who, if they're moving around a lot and they're in these situations where they don't really have a consistent place to call home, like how do they meet people? How have you been able to when you've had success?
basketball,
Yeah. Having a common
like
interest.
yeah, like it's just all basketball. Me like I can meet like you see we met on the basketball court.
Yeah, true.
We still talking to 3 years later. Like I don't know, it's just something about like meeting people on the court. We have something similar.
Yeah, what's funny for me is that I I know that people that I've met on the court that suck, it's really hard for me to be like, I can be, if I'm friends with somebody first and then I see them play basketball and they suck, I can still be friends with them. If the
Yeah,
first place I meet them is in basketball and they suck, I don't want to become friends with them. That's it. Like I can be friends with you and then you end up playing with me and you suck, and that's fine. We're still friends off the court. But if the first place I met you, you sucked, I can't do it. I don't know. What about you? How do you feel about that?
I can't because I'm gonna talk trash to you, and you ain't gonna like me after that. So
That would make sense. See, Curtis is not all bad, guys. That's how you know he was solid. If I'm still talking to him 3 years later, that's how you know I thought he was decent, because we met. He's a good hooper. He was.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
You still able to throw it down at all? I know you used to be able to dunk pretty decently.
I feel old. Like
How old are you now, Kurt? You're like a year or two older than me, right?
25.
25. Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
you are
like
old.
30.
Yeah, you basically are fucking dirt at this point.
Yeah, like imagine me hopping on the college team right now. They gonna look at me like how we looked at Ben and David. Like, why's your old ass out there? Go home.
That's funny as fuck. I think TJ was 25. I think TJ's like
Yeah,
26
he
or
was.
27 now.
He was up there with the old people.
He was lumped in with them too, is what you're
I was
saying? Oh yeah. That's a good point. I didn't think of it that way. I mean,
not
David,
trying to
those
be
guys
perfect.
those guys all fit in fine.
Yeah, yeah.
helps when you're the better when they were the better players on the team. That
He was
helps.
the better player and the older people. Like
Yeah.
you can't get around that.
It couldn't if it would have been one or the other, people would have butted heads with them maybe. But
Yeah.
so moving around a lot, and you were talking about maybe going back to school. What would you want to do? Excuse me, if you did go back to school.
I want a degree in business, construction, and cosmetology. Like I won't just want. I want all three.
You want to
Degrees.
do all three. I
Yeah.
don't think you need a degree for. I mean, unless you're depends on what kind of construction you're trying to do. If you're trying to do like the
Yeah.
engineering aspect of it, maybe.
Like I want to try. Like I want to have a degree just in case it like come down to it. Like it's
Oh,
happened. Like I got the background for it.
Yeah, I think too. A business degree. So, do you have any like idea of what you'd want to do? Ethan Hoffman's back in the chat. What's going on, Ethan? How are you? Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. But so when it like comes to like a career path, I know you're saying like you want to have like options, right? Like that's why you're considering doing all three. If you had to choose something to do for the rest of your life, and maybe this is an intimidating question right off the bat, but what would it be? What would that thing be that you would want to do?
I feel like business because that's something I've been wanting to do since like 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah, would it be like own your own business or be like
Yeah.
a higher up at a business?
So, well, my dream was to like own like multiple stores. Like you know how they got like day sporting goods, like stuff like that. Like I want to own like multiple of those, like in like different states, overseas, like everywhere.
Oh, okay. So kind of be a franchise owner type of thing.
Yeah.
That would be really neat. I mean, especially with something like a Dick's or whatnot, like being an athlete and whatnot. I think that would help you get a little bit of insight as to what people are looking for in those kind of things and
Yeah.
whatnot.
It's like 'cause we go to stores, like we look at certain stuff, the store don't have it. So
Yeah.
how that feel?
Yeah, interesting. I know we had a friend that, and I say friend because you had a slightly different relationship with them, that worked at an off-brand, not a Dick's, a Hibbett Sports in Janesville.
What you talking about?
So would you be interested in opening up your own like little one like that to start out before you did something like that, or would you rather just own a franchise that's already like established?
I want to start like little.
Okay. So you have your
So, like,
own little Hibbett Sports, but it'll be
Yeah.
Rankins. Rankins
I was gonna-
Recreation.
That's not like a gym.
Yeah, Rankins Rec. There you go. I need
That's all I
10%.
Uh,
I need 10% for the name. No, why have you been drawn into business? What about it has you interested and curious?
well, I don't know. It's like when I was little, I always wanted to like dress up in like suits, like put on suits and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
and then like I think my daddy said it like you're like a businessman, so it's like it stuck with me. Like oh, that's what I want to be. Like it's good money in it.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
I like that. So you enjoy dressing dapper and looking the
Yeah.
part. And I'll tell you what, from someone who is about to graduate in marketing and business, that like I got a couple a couple months left at this point now. Yeah, a couple months left. That's a big part of it. A big part of it is looking the part and being able to talk to people. That's
Yeah,
a lot of it.
I think my biggest like negative thing, like I don't know how to talk to people right away.
See, I think
Use
I
certain
think
words.
I think you're a super charismatic guy once you kind of let your guard down. I think
Yeah,
It's being in a position like you said where you're moving around a lot. It's hard to have your guard down because you don't know who's a friend and who's a foe yet.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like I mean, I could be like comfortable in like Wisconsin. It's just like I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Because I don't have nothing like holding me back here. So I want to like try new places. Like I'll say I went to school and like overseas, like Nebraska, Alaska, stuff like that.
Yeah. Where's somewhere you want to visit or maybe live in?
Dubai.
Dubai.
Yeah,
Holy
I
shit.
just want to try it.
It looks cool. I can't deny that. It looks fucking cool. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about. We talked about it off air right before we went live. You were mentioning with it moving to Vegas, there's a little bit of a different like culture there that you were not expecting. That kind of shocked you a little bit.
At all.
Explain what that was for people that obviously weren't having that conversation with us yet.
For me, it was different because over there you get told like to not wear certain colors. You can't walk down this way. You can't come in here. You can't do that here. You can't play ball at this part. You got to go all the way over there.
And it's because there was some gang turf stuff going on, right?
Yeah, basically like when like they going to like it's their territory. They don't know me, so it's like I'm not welcome there. I'm a stranger, basically.
So how intense is it? Is it like certain roads you can't go on at a certain time of day, or is it like this side? Is it like a whole side of each town?
It's basically like how do I explain it? You can't go in like certain areas of Vegas, like certain towns, certain blocks, whatever you want to call it. You can't go on that certain side. Then you have people that they will either jump you or like do something else worse.
Damn, how does that? I'm always curious when I hear things like that because I don't know how it would work for like someone like myself who if I like let's say I was just visiting, you know, like let's say I was just coming to hang out with Curtis and you're busy doing something and I go to the park and go hoop, like on what level am I gonna have to be? You think I would have to sit there and be like, okay, I can't go to this park or I can like pick and choose where I'm going? It's that bad?
Yeah, it's that bad. Like, cause it's like it's Bloods and Crips. Like,
Oh
cause
man.
like Los Angeles is like an hour or something away. So
Yeah.
all of them is like into Vegas, trying to take over Vegas, whatever, or like trying to do whatever they want to do in Vegas. So it's like hard. So
Dude,
and it's like,
what are you saying?
yeah, you can go ahead.
Oh, I just don't get it. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish.
I don't like it.
It
'Cause I
freaks
feel
me
like
out.
you should be able to hoop any way you want to. Like, it shouldn't matter what you got on, who you with.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
just going to ball and I'm going home.
it shouldn't I know it might be cliche to say this and obviously I don't know anything about this culture, so maybe I'm talking out of line, but I know Nipsey said and a lot of other famous people have said like if you can run and operate in a gang, like you can open up your own business, you could do like you're smart enough to do these things, so maybe those are the avenues you should take instead of this sort of thing, making people like kind dudes like yourself scared to go hoop at a certain time of day. Like, why are you trying to antagonize people like that when you guys could be, running, especially out west? There's, I believe, I mean, there's a lot of drugs are legal, right? Like a lot of like weed's legal.
Yeah.
So it's like, why aren't you just starting a business, dog? Like I know that's my brother's been wanting to do that for a long time. So it's like I don't know. I feel like that's a very valid option for people out there.
Yeah. And another reason that scared me is like in Vegas, you could walk around with like your guns on you. It's like, what if they would have had a gun? If I would have said something wrong, I would have been shot right there. Trying to go play ball.
Yeah, yeah. You talk a little smack because his jumper's bricking.
Yeah, like, and I talk stuff like you talk stuff to me, I'm gonna go talk stuff back to you because that's how I play.
Yeah, that's the way the game's supposed to be played, right? That's how it's supposed to go. So that kind of on the topic of the streets and some gang violence. There's been some stuff right now in the news with 6ix9ine and Meek Mill beefing, and a lot of people are speculating that it might be fake because it just kind of came out of nowhere. I know you're a big Meek fan. I know I shouldn't say I know you're a big Meek fan, but you are into Meek Mill, right?
Yeah, it's like one of my top artists.
Yeah, I like Meek Mill too a lot, and when I heard this, I was pretty concerned because I feel like he has got a lot of anthems that are like it's for people that have gone through it and that have been through some serious things in their life, and for like him to be possibly faking a beef, like that would really fuck up his legacy to me. I don't know what you think.
It would. Like he gonna be looked at different. Like you worked with the snitch. Basically.
Would you still bump Dreams and Nightmares if he comes
yeah,
out?
That's like me and my niece like #1 song.
I mean it's a different energy when that shit plays in the gym.
Yeah,
it really is.
We had like doing our warm ups and I was like ducking with ease.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, just different feeling with it when that come on.
Damn. So what's like? Would you fake a beef for views, Curtis? Would you do it?
Nah, because it's gonna catch up to you in the long run.
Yeah. So you wouldn't
be able to catch up.
You wouldn't be able to fake a beef. I was considering faking a beef. I don't know who I would fake one with. No one.
I'm not to fake nothing. I'm gonna get caught. I'm gonna end up laughing or like, oh my bad, it was a joke.
See, that's the same thing with me. Unless I'm like deliberately going like. So I guess maybe I could. I don't know. I enjoy acting. I did some acting in college, my second year. But I don't know that I'm good enough to fool people on that level, like to pretend like I hate somebody.
I can't stay mad at nobody for long.
Yeah, that too. That too. I feel like I'm.
You witnessed it with Logan.
Yeah, yeah. What So I guess we could get into that. How did you end up decided to come to Janesville? Because that's what it's funny. We I had Jamal on last week, who was our coach,
Yeah.
and obviously so I met him in Janesville. I also met you in Janesville. How did you decide? Someone who's been moving from Wisconsin to Nevada and back and forth. Like what made you think like, oh, I'm gonna go play basketball in Janesville?
He actually had one of my old friends named Ed, which he said something about him on the last show.
Mm-hmm.
He actually went out there to learn open gyms because I think he knew Rudy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out there like toward the middle of the season, and I guess he seen me play. He's like, you want to come play this year, or you can come back in the summer. So I just chose to come back in the summer. Like I had my 4 year.
Yeah.
And so that's basically how we met.
Wow. So you just kind of like all it took was this one guy saying like, "Yo, you want to play?" And you were like, "Oh, fuck it, sure."
Yeah, he was like, you want to go to open gym? He said open gym, and he just said, yeah, I'm gonna go.
Damn.
And he didn't even say what it was. He just said open gym. I just said yeah.
That's all it took for Curtis to be sold. That's crazy.
And I found that was in Janesville. So
How was that? I mean, you're driving from Madison back and forth every day. How was that?
it was not good.
No, I know you're not like big on driving in general.
No, because I had to get up at like 6 in the morning, be going by 8. Got school, right after school, practice. And after practice, I have to take that 45-minute drive all the way back.
Yeah.
And then do that like every day.
So with school and whatnot, what were you starting to take classes to start moving forward, like try and do business, or what were you taking when you were in school?
Yeah, I took, I think it was personal finance and accounting in Janesville.
Oh, okay,
Like,
got you.
the second semester.
And did you like it then, since that's something you were
Yeah.
considering doing? Oh, wow.
I
That's
had
cool.
the same teacher for both classes. So,
Oh,
see
nice.
y'all out there.
I fucking hated accounting, and I had to take like 3 classes of it. It was awful.
Yeah, it was pretty good. She wasn't talking about it really. It was me and I think Tim was in that.
I think Tim was. He wasn't
Yeah.
maybe not in accounting, maybe personal finance.
It was
but-
personal finance. We had that first, and we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
No, but yeah, he would skip class.
Yeah. Well, Tim is a free spirit. He does what he wants to do, and so school wasn't it for at that time, so it's all good.
He hit me once or twice.
Yeah. When we met at open gyms. We start hooping, and slowly but surely, I don't even know how it happened. Maybe you remember, you and this other guy that we don't gotta name his name because he's just whack. Ended up coming over to the apartment that Tim and I had just got, and I think all of us were like gonna be on the team until the one guy ended up dropping out and like dropping off the face of the planet. But so like, and I don't know how it got brought up, but eventually you ended up staying at our place, and then we just were roommates.
Well, that person came up to me while I was on a date with somebody else.
Uh-huh.
He like, oh, you trying to move in with Darren and Tim? Like, at
Did
first,
he
I'm like,
really say that?
Yeah. I'm like, that's the day he came over there by himself. I'm like, who is Darren and Tim?
Yeah.
So he went to Jamal about it, and I guess Jamal like came to you with the idea, and I'm like, okay, and that's when I guess I got picked to move in, and he just went wherever he went.
That's funny, dude, because that's what. Yeah, Sean, like he definitely never asked us.
Yeah, so I'm like, who is Darren and Tim? He's like, the two dudes on the team. Like, okay, I was good driving back and forth.
Yeah,
he just didn't want to get that gas money up. So
yeah, he's a character, but we basically ended up being roommates, sharing the same little shitty apartment.
We can't say roommates. I had the front room. I was the front mate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me and Tim each had our own room, and then Curtis had you were the king of the castle, basically. You had the whole front.
Yeah.
So that's
it got cold.
That's how it got cold. I spoke last week, and we'll get into some like other like little funnier roommate stuff, but I was talking last week with Jamal about how we had lost we lost heat halfway through the year. We did lose power eventually a couple of times.
And that's when we all left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. So, I came home. This is and we ended up finding out this is how we lost the heat. We found this out after you left. Do you remember there was a day when you and your special someone were at the apartment? And Tim and I left to give you guys some alone time. We come back, and I remember just talking to you guys for a couple minutes, like in the living room, and I was wearing a jacket. It was like, it wasn't like super cold yet. It was like
I think
fall.
that's the first day went off.
Yeah, it was like fall-ish, but it was colder outside. I remember I had my jacket on and I started sweating. I was inside, I was just sweating dick. And I was like, what's wrong, dude? So I took my jacket off and I'm like still talking in conversation, like, oh my God, dude, I took my sweatshirt off. And I was like, holy shit. And I remember I like took my basketball shorts off and fucking walked to my room, my underwear, and then we checked the thermostat and y'all had it at like 94 degrees or something inside. And so what happened was then Tim slid it all the way back to what it was supposed to be. And that fucked the pilot light up. Like, so that when you have your heat, there's like a constant flame that's always going as the pilot flame. And then like when you turn it up or down, it gets bigger or smaller. And since we had it so high, and then when Tim like slid it all the way back, it like went too far and then it just turned off.
Yeah,
All we had to do was call the land, and we were too scared because we thought we broke it. That's why no one ever called. And then we ended up finding out the next year from the landlord, because he was like, it looks like I forgot what he was checking, but he was like, it looks like your guys' pilot light is out. And he just took a lighter and lit it.
Oh, because of me.
Well, I mean, it was a combo of yeah, the 94 degrees and then us not realizing it and sliding it back super far. But that was hilarious.
We froze because of that.
We
all we had to do was take a lighter.
All we had to do was get a lighter, go to the basement. That was rough, man. How was living with 3, sometimes 4 and 5 and 6 guys? Because we had way too many people always joining in.
That was fun. It was fun.
I was fun for
Yeah, at first it started off kind of weird because Logan.
Yeah.
Once I'm like, okay, so he's not a bad person. It got fun after that.
Yeah, Logan got a little he was a little sus for a little bit, right? He was.
Well, yeah, most of the season.
Yeah. He would mess with you when you left. He would mess with Tim even more. So,
yeah, him and Tim was like, it was something else. That was a whole new relationship.
Yeah, no, yeah, they love each other very much. They're good buddies. But no, it was a definitely different experience for me, where it was a lot. There was some times where it was like so much fucking fun, and then there were other times, like you said, where it was just kind of weird, where it's like, you know, there's just too many people where you're like, you can't have your girl over, like if there's like all this shit going on, like I can't have my girlfriend over, like sometimes you want to go to bed and other people want to stay up, and just like a lot of crazy shit like that.
Too crazy. I had to watch TV on a laptop.
Yeah. I remember when we first lost power, we were talking about this off air, when we lost power, and one time McKenna had come over and she stayed the night, and it was while we didn't have heat, and I remember sleeping in a full, I had a shirt, a long sleeve shirt, a sweatshirt, my winter coat on, 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of socks, and McKenna had the same on her, and we were just like holding each other to stay warm under the blanket. I don't know how you survived without a person to hold.
I had shoes on.
I do remember you sleeping with shoes on.
I had my travel gear on top of that. I had another jacket on, wrapped around in a blanket, and I was still cold.
God,
it didn't work.
No, yeah, that it was
then
bad.
Tim just come out with a jacket on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's built different. Tim used to never wear pants when we were. I think he still didn't really wear pants until like a little bit later. But he would always wear shorts in the winter, no matter what.
Yeah, that was the coldest day of my life. My coldest couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was. It felt like forever, man. It felt like forever. What's the best part about having roommates?
After games, after practice,
just chilling.
Yeah, basically, like messing with each other,
Yeah.
but basically playing the game. Just,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I'd say yeah, I think the best part about having roommates is the shared experience that it's like you kind of all subject to the same living environment, the same things
uh,
happen. If something happens to the apartment or we get a bad storm or whatever, and it's like we don't got whatever, like we're all just playing games together. We're playing Fortnite. We're playing whatever it is. Like
and I didn't like Fortnite at the time,
I
and that's all.
know, yeah, I
That's
know.
all I played.
Yeah, you hated it. You didn't want to try it. Did you end up ever playing it?
Yeah, I played with I think Tim.
Have you played it since? Do you still play it all or no?
Yeah, I played like 3 days ago.
Oh, okay. So now you're into it. Now it's cool.
It's getting back boring now.
Yeah, that's
I was,
fair.
it
That's
was
what I
cool
hear.
for like a whole year, like right after college.
Yeah.
That, yeah,
Yeah, that next year it was. We played it a ton the next year, and then that was it. And
I wasn't that like
yeah, you dipped out on us, man.
it didn't feel the same.
Yeah.
Like Jamal loves like everybody loved, but we were still up. Like, we didn't talk to each other.
Hmm.
We go to class, you see somebody just walking past. It was different.
Yeah, it was weird when Jamal left. The whole team, like we didn't really have a structure, right? No one was coming to practices. It was like kind of me, you, and Tim. And Tim wasn't even on the team anymore.
Yeah, we had people missing classes, not coming to school.
Yeah, we had tons of people just stop showing up because they thought our season was canceled, and then other dudes would show up for the games after not showing up all week for practice and want to play.
That's what I've been like. Like you show up for games, but you don't want to stick your head in practice. You ain't got to play. Just sit on the bench, watch or something.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was weird when a lot of people wouldn't show up for practices and whatnot. How long? Oh, what were you saying?
I said, yeah, early on game days.
Yeah, everybody is showing up for game days, but not practices. How long did you guys go without heat? McKenna says, and I think to answer your question, I think it was like, I think we went the whole until it got warm, but
Yeah,
it broke.
like the whole.
Yeah, it was like the whole winter. So it was like 4 months. It was pretty bad.
It was.
It was rough. I loved going out to eat because it was warm there.
Yeah, I love heat in school. That's
Dude.
the first time I ever loved school.
Yeah, yeah. I was the same. I mean, dude, I remember cooking food in our apartment. Like if I would make something in the oven, when I was done, I'd turn the oven off because we didn't have money to just let it run. But I would open it wide and just leave it open while it was cooling down to let that heat out because we needed it, dude.
That's not the mess. It was ice on the window.
I know. There was ice on the inside of the window. People think I'm joking when I make this up, dude. I've told so many people this story.
Like I was scraping it off with my fingernail. It was bad.
Yeah, it was. I remember sometimes getting out of the shower, and like my hair would already be like getting like kind of like when you go outside and it like if your hair's wet and it like freezes, like my hair, I would go to dry off my hair and it fucking would already start like crinkling up.
I was sick for about 3 weeks.
I believe it. I believe it.
I was like, you want to open up? I'm like, I can't move. Like I feel sick. Like I feel like shit right now.
Yeah,
I was just right there for the whole 2 weeks.
It's tough being, a lot of people don't understand this, and maybe you can back me up on this. Being a college athlete at a school where the funds are not really there,
It's not easy.
it's not a lot of it's not as glamorous as you would think because you're starving. I was starving a lot of times. We didn't have food.
It's like you can't go nowhere, like because you need gas money.
Yeah, yeah. We don't got. There's not a lot of option. Like if you played at like the actual Whitewater or like the UW Madison or any of these like just a bigger, nicer school where they have like athletics and they have like multiple people that are getting paid to like make sure the team is good. You're also getting like a preloaded card with X amount of meals on it because you're an athlete and like that's included in your tuition. We don't got that. We don't got that.
We didn't get we even eat the school lunch.
No, yeah,
It was expensive and nasty.
Yeah, it was kind of scary, especially that first year. It got a little bit better the next year when we weren't there. It was a little bit better, but not great. They brought in a different company, so because it was Whitewater. So
yeah, cause you rock. It wasn't like when I first signed up. Like I'm in college.
yeah,
So when it started, fuck college.
yeah,
This is not cutting it. I
yeah.
can't do that.
It kind of, I don't know if like for you, it felt like for me I was at like a emptier high school
Yeah,
campus wise.
just a big high school with less students.
Yeah, and it had more. I think it has more students than my high school did, but it never at the same time. So it always feels like the whole school's empty.
Yeah, I think we had the same amount.
Oh yeah, you went. Where'd you go to high school?
Memorial in Madison.
Oh, in Madison. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you play basketball in high school?
Yeah, I played my freshman year at Chicago, and I transferred to up there, and I ain't play for 3 years.
Damn. Did you try out at all, or did you not make the team, or did you just not want to?
Yeah, I tried out my sophomore year. I got cut because I had an F, just one F, and I got cut. And I don't know. I feel like I say I was scared to try out again because I didn't want to get cut again, so I just gave up.
What class did you have an F in?
History.
Damn. Whack. Yeah, I'm losing my headphones.
I came 2 weeks after school started, so it's like I have to like catch up. And
oh, that makes sense. That's tough, man. Were you always like the same height, or were you like a late bloomer? Because you're like, what are you, like 6'1", 6'2"?
6'2", 6'1.5", one of those.
So it's like
I'm 6'2", feel taller.
Okay, got you. I'll say 6'2". It's so funny talking to anybody that's like especially basketball players. When I like ask them how tall they are, and I say like, "Oh, are you 6 whatever?" They always get very particular about what I say because it's it's a guy thing where we want to be taller. For me, I'm just short as it is, so I just stick with it. I'm 5'10". Not you get what you get, you know.
But I don't know if I'm 6'1" or 6'2". I just say 6'2". It's on my ID too.
That as long it's whatever you identify as is fair. You say 6'2", you're 6'2". I'll say that. I'll go with that. But I mean, were you 6'2" like in high school, or were you a late bloomer?
I want to say I was 6 feet from 6th grade to like freshman year, and then I just grew 2 inches since.
Wow, so you were fucking 6 foot in 6th grade.
Yeah. And that's like when I first ever played basketball, like on the team.
I hope someone would have got you to play basketball if you were 6 foot in 6th grade. I would. Yeah. I was like fucking 5'3" in 6th grade.
I was tall and skinny. I was like a stick.
Most basketball players start out that way, so that's fair. Yeah. That's fair. That's just crazy to me because you got good height, you're an athletic guy. Like it's weird that you didn't. I mean, obviously, like the F and whatever, and you didn't want to stick it out. You just were like, no, I'm done with Memorial.
I feel like it was like it's a different state. Like after what I went through, basically, it's like I'm coming to a different state. I don't know nobody but my sister and her kids. So it's like I don't have that same motivation to like push myself to go try it again. So I just gave up.
Interesting. Why? So why'd you move to Madison then, out of Chicago?
So in 2012, that's when I lost my dad in like July. So I had the option like stay in Chicago, deal with drugs and gangs, and most likely drop out of school or go to Wisconsin and get a better education and graduate.
Yeah.
So gave up. I just left Chicago behind. I haven't been back since.
Wow. Have you visited at all or no?
I mean, yeah, I visit, but like people ask like when I move back, nah, it don't feel the same. It's different.
I could imagine that would be a very, I'm sure that was a difficult decision too at the time.
Yeah, because like I'm leaving my 2 sisters to go with my other sister, who I didn't stay with until now. If I move.
Yeah. Wow, man. First off, I'm sorry for your loss. I know you were.
Thank you.
I know you were expressing some feelings about it the other day on social media and whatnot, and I just want you to know if you ever need anything, you got a friend here, and you got me, myself. I'm sure Tim, even Logan, we're all here for you. So you ever need anything,
it means a lot.
Yeah, I can't imagine, man. Especially moving around as much as you've had to do, and everybody goes through a lot of crazy shit. We all have our own journeys to go through, right? We all have our own hardships and whatnot. But yeah, losing a loved one, especially a parent, I couldn't imagine, man. So I feel for you, and I just want you to know that I am here for you if you ever need anything.
Yeah, thank you.
And fuck the camera. I'm not just saying that because we're on camera. Like
I know.
I would absolutely. We share the same birthday. For God's sake, like come on.
We found that out. I think 2 weeks before.
Yeah, that was funny as hell. Whenever we were hooping in Janesville at the I got like a Snapchat memory of it like every year because it was like we were playing basketball and I posted on my story when we found out. You were like, I was like, wait, when's your birthday? And you're like, November 3rd. And Tim was like, that's his birthday. And you're like, oh, no way. And then like that was it. But it just comes up on my Snapchat. Yeah.
I think that's what made like all us close.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in common, but it don't look like we do.
Yeah. It's interesting, you know, especially coming from different places, different situations and whatnot. Basketball being that bridge to kind of let people get to know each other. That's what's so special.
It made us closer too. Like when I first seen you, I'm like, oh, that's more people on the basketball team, basically.
Yeah.
And then like when I think our first day at practice, I feel like that's when everybody like awesome. We stuck with each other for the next year.
Yeah.
So we might as well see each other.
Yeah, man. I've met I'm so thankful. So like I've talked a lot on my podcast is I didn't really get a whole lot of I had a similar thing with you with like I played all 4 years of high school basketball, but I didn't get a lot of opportunities to to really showcase like my talent. And like I hesitate to say talent because it was mostly skill. Like it was like I wasn't really talented. I had to like work for a lot of everything I had. But I didn't get a whole lot of opportunities either. So like I wasn't really sure if I was going to play anywhere. And then I kind of just heard about the school, and I like you, I made just like an impulse decision to do it. And I'm so thankful in a lot of ways that I wasn't able to kind of get those opportunities, because I feel like had I gotten those opportunities in high school, I wouldn't have met all the great people I met in Janesville. Because I don't want to like be this like big head whatever. I feel like I could have played at least Division III if I like got to show where I was and what everything. But that didn't happen, and I got to meet and play with a lot of awesome people because of it. And so like I'm not like I still definitely think about it sometimes and what could have been, but I'm not bitter about it because I'm thankful I got to meet people like yourself and Jamal and TJ, David, Ben, all these people I've had on my podcast, like just a lot of really solid dudes that like I would definitely fight for.
Yeah, I feel like we could have won the whole thing 3 years in a row.
Oh, we would have. Yeah, we were going to, but you know, then the situation happened, and that was what it was.
I feel like it messed everybody up.
It really did. It really did. It's tough for anybody to deal with that. I mean, especially like I've been through some semi-traumatic experiences, and I'm sure you know you have as well. Like just having another thing like that, especially when it comes to like the game that we love, that like takes us away from all of that, and then having something like that come into basketball and happen, you know, that's tough.
It was like you basically just took somebody who like brought a whole bunch of strangers together and made them like brothers basically.
Mm-hmm.
At first, before that, we didn't nobody know each other.
Yeah.
We invited JJ over, like all that. Yeah. For it to mess up and everybody go back their own way, it was pointless basically.
Yeah, it was definitely a sad thing to see. Switching gears though a little bit. I don't know if you've been paying attention at all, but I wanted to ask you about this. NASA got to Mars recently. Did you see anything about that?
No,
you didn't hear anything? So
no.
A lot of people are saying it's fake though. A lot of people think it's fake. I am not one of those people. I think, but I was wondering if do you think that the initial moon landing and all of our space operations that people assume to be fake, do you believe in space travel, or do you believe in a conspiracy theory?
I feel like it's real.
You feel like it's real?
Yeah. I mean, who knows what the world could do? Like they come up with a whole bunch of stuff like, for people to do.
That's what I wanted to get to. Do you believe in any fun conspiracy theories? Anything that maybe a lot of other people don't?
The corona.
Oh yeah, corona.
That's real. A lot of people don't think that's real.
Oh, you think it's real?
Yeah, I had an uncle who actually was in a coma from.
Oh my goodness!
He just got up and like not too long ago.
That's
awful. How to walk again, talk, all that.
Well, I'm glad he's gotten through that and he's fighting it. That's incredible. I'm glad you take it seriously. That's what I was getting to. Oh really?
I think that he's in the hospital. That's like this is real.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's been a lot of, and I don't want to get like super political. There's been a lot of people that spread in like a lot of misinformation about it that makes even people like yourself and myself question like, okay, is this legit? But then, you know, it takes something like that or just doing some other research. I think we just passed like 500,000 deaths today of the whole country. So that's insane. That's like, I don't know. I don't even know how many people died in World War II, but I think we're fucking there. I think we're like
I feel like
almost
it's
there.
more than that, or almost more.
I,
It's
I
close.
I think we're getting close, man. That's 500,000 people.
And
Like
this been going on not even a year yet.
I
It's coming
know,
up.
I know. That's what like when we were talking too, like about getting in the gym and all these other things. Like I really want to get back to just getting to do some of the things that like make
Yeah,
living fun.
I can't lie. I went to the gym 2 days ago. 2 days
Yeah.
ago.
Well, I've been boxing. I've been going to this boxing gym, and the thing I like about that is that I don't have to it's not the I'm not like on top of 10 dudes play if I'm playing basketball, you're
Yeah,
bumping into each other and all these things. So I've been trying to find other ways to stay active cuz I definitely miss basketball though. It's like my
yeah.
first love
I
with that
tried
stuff.
it. And it was like, you have to wear masks. I'm not gonna. I can't play ball with a mask on.
That's all
I just,
dude, they're making a lot of high schoolers do it.
yeah, it's not. I feel like it's not safe. When it gets sweaty, it get like it's hard to breathe.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with the especially the cloth masks and stuff like or if you or the cheaper like surgical ones that like people wear like those disposable ones. Those ones you get so sweaty so fast and
Yeah,
they'll cuz I wore one to boxing the other day and yeah, it definitely is a hindrance. That's why I wish, I hope we could just get through this and get back to hooping and boxing normally and whatnot. I think that'll be good for everybody.
hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
fat laying around,
Yeah, you feeling out of shape?
like to the point where if I run up the court right now, I'm gonna pass out.
I,
It's not
I
good.
don't disagree with you. I think I might as well. Up and down a couple of times, I might get pretty
Yeah,
tired pretty
I might
fast.
make it down once and then walk the other way.
That's
Can't do it.
that's fair. That's fair. I feel that. I feel that as well. That's funny though that when I brought up conspiracy theories that was one that because I don't even think that's the thing. I don't think it should be even a question. I feel like with COVID, like everybody should, but there's just so much stuff going around that people don't know or they question it. I think there's a what's like a big what's a conspiracy theory that I somewhat think might be real is have you heard of the mattress firm conspiracy theory?
I heard of mattress friends, but I haven't heard of like
Well,
nothing about them.
well, the reason you've heard of mattress firms is because there's so fucking many of them. But how the fuck are they selling that many mattresses to stay in business, man? There's no way. And so the conspiracy theory is that mattress firm actually is selling drugs and the beds are filled with thousands of dollars, like hundreds of thousands of dollars in the back. They got drugs and they got money. And that's what they're really doing. It's just the mattress firm is just a front for the crazy activities they got going on in the back.
You believe in it? That's happening?
No, I don't know. I just it's a fun one, and I could see that one. I would understand somebody's logic on that more than I would them not believing in COVID because
They don't sell nothing.
well, it's just like with mattresses. Like think about it. Like when's the last time you bought a new mattress? I haven't bought one. I've never bought a mattress.
Oh no.
I've never bought one. I was born and I had one and I've never bought a new one. Like I maybe that's because I'm poor and like you just didn't have money to buy one or like what? But like I don't buy new we just didn't get new beds like that. Like nobody buys it. Even people that do buy new beds, I think you're not supposed to buy a new one until like 10 or so years.
I know people that buy more air mattresses than a regular bed.
Oh, air mattresses. Yeah, that's
Those are
totally
more than
different. Yeah, and I don't think Mattress Firm is pushing out a fuck millions of air mattresses a year.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. They might be real. They might be selling some drugs. I could see it. I could see it.
A lot of companies.
Do you think have you heard anything about? I don't know how plugged in you are to pop culture and everything, but being a social media wannabe influencer, I have to stay plugged into these things. So have you heard anything about Kanye and Kim? They're splitting up.
No, I actually haven't. About time.
Yeah, they're getting divorced, and it's apparently Kanye still hasn't like made a statement or anything on it, and Kim is, I guess she just like had her team put a report out there saying that like everything's going well and they have a prenup and neither party is contesting the prenup and
Let's hope he come back to the regular old Kanye West.
yeah, you're a big old Kanye over new Kanye.
Just because he's from Chicago and some of his songs are good. But if he wasn't from Chicago, it's like, okay.
Yeah, did you like the Christian rap stuff he was doing? I
No.
wasn't a big fan of it.
Nah.
Yeah, I couldn't get behind Jesus is King. It just wasn't for me.
I couldn't do it. Not
I
with him.
I
No.
feel like the most like religious I could get on a rap album was Chance's like the coloring book, like the first semi-religious one he had. Like I couldn't anything past that. When Kanye started going too far off, I was just like, whoa.
I mean, they got a one good song together called Ultralight Beam.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That one's
That's
off the coloring book. Yeah, I like
like,
coloring book,
other
but
than that, yeah, I can't do it.
yeah, it's when it gets too. I mean, I've heard good things about his like Sunday services and everything, but I don't know. I've never been, so I'm not in. I'm not very religious. I don't know.
I mean, neither. So you won't
Um,
catch me.
yeah, that's fair. I don't know how do you feel like? Do you think would if you got married and maybe you were in a even if you weren't in a public relationship, but would you want a prenup?
I don't know.
Because that just basically you know what a prenup is, right? That's when
Yeah, just giving them money.
yeah. Well,
Just,
basically it's if you don't get one, like you both of your when you get married officially, your guys' like assets and money are like combined. If you get like a
uh,
prenup, um, you basically well if something were to happen where like you get a divorce, like my assets are mine and yours are yours, type of
yeah.
deal.
I really don't. It depends on like how the divorce happened. Like, did we both agree on this, or you just trying to get one? If you was, then you're not getting my money.
That's
If we
fair.
agreed on it, like we like both work like towards the money, then why not split it?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think with a lot of people is if that situation that you mentioned where if they just want to leave whatever and you guys didn't have it figured out beforehand, and if you didn't already have one, then you just kind of get screwed, and then you gotta pay.
That's why you don't get married.
Don't get married. Curtis
Don't get
says don't
married.
get married. Curtis, we mentioned earlier that you used to have you were dating somebody back when we lived together. Are you dating now or are you staying single?
No, single. I've been single since last year.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so do you is that like by choice? You're not looking for anybody right now, right? If you're not trying to get married, you're just trying to chill.
Nah. Hey, yeah, just focusing on myself. Really.
It's gotta
Trying to
be
get a lot. Yeah, trying to get my life in the where it should be at least.
that's good. I mean, that's how you should. That's what I think. I had Derek on a while back from our team, and we were talking about dating and whatnot, and nowadays, and just how everything is, and the biggest thing is you got to know you before you can
Yeah, that's why I'm at now. I'm trying to find out who I am, basically.
yeah, because it's tough to love somebody else if you don't love you, right? That's what
Yeah.
everybody says. That's what everybody says at least. Now, where so you're originally we talked about you originally being from Chicago, and
Yep.
and you how you met Jamal was through a friend of
Yeah.
yours that knew Rudy. Um, what what's next for Curtis? You said you're trying to figure out your life. What does that entail? I know you're in between deciding like where you want to live and whatnot. What if there was a documentary crew following Curtis's life, what would they see in the next month and a half?
But the next month, you basically just said it. Like I actually want to start like a documentary,
You want to start a documentary?
like a YouTube, basically, like put out like my like the stuff I went through, what I'm going through now, and like what I want to be like, and how I want it, like to end, basically.
Oh, I got you. That is first off, that's dope. You should absolutely do it. Because I'm always for people starting their own stuff, and if you need any help, that's literally what my company does.
Yeah, it's
DMR
basically
Media.
like yeah, it's me and my brother basically. We want to like start a YouTube, like helping people out, like see how the homeless people out here, like I want to help them out, like get them on their feet,
Oh, okay, sweet.
check up on them, like make sure they still doing good and stuff like that.
That's important, man. That's a noble effort too. That's a good,
Yeah,
really
cause
good thing to do.
yeah, 'cause I have an uncle that's homeless basically. He don't want no help from nobody, so I want to help the people that actually won't help. That's actually like after actually reading, like really needed help. I
Do
want
you
to
have
help them out.
contact with your uncle?
No, I actually don't. The last time I seen him was 2 summers ago, and we was downtown in Chicago going to the gym, and he actually like walked up on the car like begging us for change, and we know who he was.
Holy shit!
We tried to like tell him to get in the car, we'll help him out, but he ran from us.
Holy shit, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the first time I seen like a family member like out there like bad, like homeless, and I did not like it.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Like, you just haven't heard from him however long, and then some guy
Yeah,
just runs up on you like, "Yo, can I get some change?" And it's your fucking uncle. Like, that's
yeah,
insane.
like, 'cause, like I was young looking up to you. Like now I'm older, and you asking me for stuff. It's not. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah,
You supposed to be your feet. Like you supposed to be set in life.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy. I've talked about that a lot recently with people about how it's weird when like you're younger, you have this idea of like adults, and that
Yeah,
like adults are the good guys, and that they have it figured out, and then you become
they
an
really don't.
adult. Yeah, you become an
Yeah.
adult and you meet these people, or you start getting older and you see, and they don't. They really don't.
It's hard. It's like when you see it, like now I understand it, but I can't believe it. Like, this is actually how it is.
Yeah. When did that moment? When was like the first moment for you where you realize like, oh shit, like all adults are not good guys?
But that's when I became one.
Oh really? So like about the
Yeah,
time you turned 18?
yeah. Now I start like saying like people who I used to look up to, like start doing me like wrong, and like I see them do other people wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So like now I have the voice to say something. I can say something. It's like I can talk to you about it, or like come to you about it. 'Cause I'm grown now.
Yeah, I remember for me, it was definitely like I'm trying to think when exactly it was. I think it was like it had to have been like in like later of grade school. Like it was like seventh or eighth grade. I remember I was at like my brother's like basketball game, and there was some fucking just some like some adult there that I know who he is. I'm not gonna say his name. Um, and he was like a coach of one of these other teams. It was like a little kids league, so it was like all the parents like were on the court with them, like helping them. Like so maybe it wasn't seventh or eighth grade. It must have been like sixth grade or something like that. But whatever it was, I remember this dude like what the fuck did he do? Oh, he ended up like he stole this. His son stole a ball from myself, and like I remember, and he knew it wasn't his kid's ball, like it was a basketball, and it was like a shitty basketball, like a little one, because I'd like never really bought a basketball, um, and it was, and my friend and I were trying to get it back from him, and so we went to his dad, and his dad just told us like that's not my problem, like that's his ball now, like blah 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 blah, and I remember like just like crying, and like I think I ended up going to get my parents, and they figured it out, but it was like uh it was just like the first moment where I realized like why is like it was just weird. I was like, why is the good guy like why is the adult being mean to me? Like I'd never witnessed that before until then. And then after that, obviously like you learn like adults are people too. Like your
Yeah,
teachers are fucking they go home and they eat food and they don't get sleep and they deal with random bullshit just like you do.
yeah. I
It's
feel like
weird.
everybody does.
It's weird, man. It really is.
I
And
hate being grown.
huh?
I hate being grown.
Yeah? What's the worst part about being an adult? What do you miss most about being a youngin?
Bills, rent. I ain't have to pay none of that.
Yeah?
I ain't have to work. I was getting money like handed to me. I ain't have to like stress about nothing. Now it's like everything: phone bill, rent, regular bills. Like you always gotta have money.
Yeah. It is it's just stressful. It's stressful the way everything is set up. How did you end up getting a stimulus check?
I ain't get the second one. The first one, I just went out to the mail and I had it.
Yeah, dude, I didn't get either one. And
Yeah,
I'm
the
still
one.
waiting on it. And I definitely apparently you can claim it on taxes if you didn't get it.
Yeah, they told me that already. They told me to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm not gonna get it. So it's like,
Yeah, that's fair. I would try. I would still try just because it could really help. I know it'll definitely help me out. What was I was gonna ask you some deeper questions here if you're game for them.
yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I want to ask you, Curtis Rankins, how much of your life to this point do you think you have controlled versus has your life controlled you?
I want to say all the way up until I was 16. I won't say control. It's like I didn't have to worry about nothing. I knew what I was going to do. I had a mindset. I had a game plan, like what I was going to do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like I keep on going in the same circle over and over. Like I can't control it. I can't like say take this exit, go for this. Like same thing over and over.
Why is that, you think?
I feel like basically after losing both parents, it's like I can't get my mind off that to get that stat. Like they keep on playing over and over in my head. That's like holding me back from like what I gotta do.
So at what I know you mentioned. So did you and not to I don't if you don't want to get into it, we don't have to. But you said you lost your dad, and that's when you moved to Madison.
Uh,
So did you lose your mom prior to
yeah,
that?
I lost her at the age of 7.
Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that, man.
So it's like I know her, but it's like at some point I barely know her. Like I was 7, so it's like I don't
Yeah.
have memories.
What? So what? I don't want to. We don't have to get into the details if you don't want to. But I mean, what was like? What was it like then? Like trying to grow up in a world without these guiding forces.
It's not easy at all because you don't have that motivation. Like say you playing ball, you like, oh, I'm doing this for my parents. I'm doing this for so and so. I'm doing this for my daddy, so he can see like me like get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, it's like who I'm doing it for. So I don't have no motivation like to go to the next level.
Mm-hmm. What what do you remember from maybe knowing your mom, and obviously you knew your dad for much longer, but what kind of guidance were they able to give you? Do you think they were able? I mean, obviously, it's awful like how short of a time you got to spend with them, but like what do you think that they equipped you with the tools to that somewhere deep down, even though you're in this circle right now where it might be hard to get out of it, do you think that there's somewhere in those memories and whatnot is the strength for you to break free and do this, do right by you?
I feel it is, but it's like I feel like it's me holding me back now, not them, like not losing them. It's like I have to like basically like clear my head and like just think about it, like just get all the memories out, talk about them, so I basically get on with my life.
Mm-hmm. What um what's like the best if this maybe this would I don't know if you'd be down for this. What's like the best thing you remember about your father?
Basically like seeing him like when he get home from work, like seeing him like pop up at my school, going fishing. Like I could be playing the game, I see him walk through the door. It's just a different feeling.
Yeah.
It's like you always get that person like to support you. It's like you got somebody that's gonna be 100% behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I like I said before, man. I feel for you. I couldn't imagine having to try and maneuver your way through this world. But I think, like you said, I think you're on the right track where you know where you have to go. You
Yeah,
know what you have to do.
I have to stay with it, like keep that same mindset and not fall back into that basically dark hole that
Have
I just got out that I'm getting out of now.
Have you ever considered going to and this is this isn't even me like as an interviewer, this is just me as your friend. Have you ever considered going to like therapy or anything? I know I've
Yeah,
been
I
considering it.
actually yeah I just signed up for one like I want to say 3 weeks ago, and they said they only doing Zoom. So this is actually my first time talking about it like on live like to somebody basically. So I was like I might just consider like doing a Zoom so I can like get it out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot like the last I want to say month and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a step in the right direction. I know for myself, like I've had some issues that I definitely want to try and air out as well and talk to somebody.
Yeah,
And I think like I don't know, man. It's just so hard to like take that leap and be like, yeah, I'm gonna sign up for this and
yeah, but
talk to a stranger.
it's worth it. I'm like I like the post I made on Facebook. That's the first time I ever like said something like that out loud, like typing it.
And
And ever since
how
that,
did that feel?
it's like a whole bunch is like lift up off me. I
I
felt like not empty, but like I feel like I'm clear my mind a little bit about it.
Yeah, I can imagine, and that's probably the big draw. And I know that's why I mentioned it when we got started here, is because I that's a very serious thing, and like you said, that I think that's really powerful and says a lot about you that you're able to do that and just start taking those steps and like you said, lift that weight off your shoulders.
Yeah,
That,
it feel way much better. Not it don't make you feel like a new person, but I feel like you ain't got like that on your mind no more, like tearing you down.
mm-hmm.
Like, I
Yeah,
feel like that was like top level like stuff I was thinking about. Now it's like I'm getting that out. Now I can actually start thinking about like more stuff about me, like what I'm gonna do.
yeah. I could see. I mean, hey man, I will say like there's no way to like put it into anybody else's perspective, like what you could have, what was going on in your mind, and the weight that could bear on your conscience, so like I don't want you to ever get down on yourself about
Yeah.
that, and I don't want you
I
to
was
ever
gonna,
get down on yourself, even if it's hard to get some shit out like that, because I really couldn't imagine, and I'm blown away, even just by hearing it from you.
yeah, they're like, I feel like I was thinking a lot about, I don't know if you remember this day, but I was in a gym room and they was talking about being with some head situation, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, I've been thinking about that a lot too. Like, if he can do it, I know I can like talk about mine.
Yeah, I'm super proud of you even posting that and signing up for it. I think that's going to be incredible for you. I really think it will be. I think you, like you said, you got to keep this mindset and keep working on it. If you ever start wavering from the path, you need someone to talk to, you talk to me. I will remind you of this conversation and try and keep your head on the right path.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do that now the best way I can.
Yeah, I think you're equipping yourself with the right tools to do so. So we've got. I wanted to, let's see. I got some other deeper questions for you. Oh yeah. So what do you want, Curtis Rankins? These are kind of just some like fun. I call them fake deep questions because they're like when you like Google deep questions, they would come up like stupid shit like that. But they're fun to answer and they can lead into some good conversations. What do you, Curtis Rankins, want to be remembered for when it's all said and done? And Curtis and Curtis is long gone. What do you want people to remember you for?
Basically, a person who was there to help out whenever you needed it. Like, I want to be like, people say I want to be legendary. I want to be none of that. I just basically like, oh, he helped me out doing this. He helped me do this. Like, I don't know. I just want to help people out basically the best way I can.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think you're drawn to helping people?
I feel like that's the talent God gave me basically. Like, if I can help myself out, I can help anybody out. And I went through a lot, and I know there's people out there that's like going through the same thing I'm going through. So I want to like help them like at a younger age, like get like to the next level.
Mm-hmm. That's very admirable. That's very admirable. It reminds me a little bit of too, even what we were talking about with Jamal last week when he was explaining like, giving back to the people of Madison and trying to help out with. I know he was even volunteering before he started doing the Grind Factory again. He was doing like free sessions just like outside and whatnot in specific areas and whatnot. And I think helping people is something that some of the strongest people do. So I think I definitely admire that drive in you.
I feel like people like it keep through like your head level. It's like you can't fall back if you help somebody else out. It's gonna make them fall back.
So you kind of look at it as like it almost keeps you accountable to be better because you have to be this example for them.
Yeah, basically like using them as motivation to keep basically both of y'all going.
I like that. Yeah, I could see that 100%. I definitely have felt that in my life from time to time. I feel like they always say to surround yourself with people that like want the same thing as you. And I think in ways of helping people, it's a little bit different, but I think, by taking like a mentorship role for other people, then you have, you're not responsible for them, but you have to be a role model.
Yeah. Like you're a role model and you're like accountable for like the action they do basically.
Mm-hmm. So what would you want to, I know you're saying you're debating on like moving around and whatnot. Would you want to like, you said you wanted to help the homeless in Madison. What would you, if you could, let's say Curtis had a couple $1 million right now and you could help a lot of people. What would be the first thing you would do?
First, I would bet them somewhere to stay, basically.
What was that? Get them somewhere to stay?
Yeah, get them somewhere to stay. Put food on they, like, get them food, clothes. And then after that, I try to find them a job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's crazy how we do have a bad homeless problem here in America, especially in the cities.
And there's like some of them want it, but some of them they like gone to be homeless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary to think that like we can't, like we're this like super, and I'm not like for people not having to do any type of work, but like we're this like super advanced society and we can't even, certain people still don't have even their basic needs met. It's kind of sad. Makes me sad.
It's like, I won't say I feel sorry for the adults, but it's like the kids. Like who? Like I don't like seeing kids homeless. I don't know. It just It ain't good.
No, it's not. It's not. It's just sad. It's saddening to hear about or see, you know. And even some of the adults, you know, they might have been born into it type of
Yeah.
thing. They might have been born either extremely poor or maybe their parents were homeless. Like it's just crazy. It's
And it's
crazy.
like, yeah, and those be the ones that's comfortable with it. But like, I get that you comfortable, but your kid don't have to like get comfortable to this.
Yeah, they
Or be
shouldn't have to.
they have to, like that kid out or like that family out.
Yeah, dude. You know what I always wonder about being homeless and whatnot is like how. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. You're just trying to survive, I guess. But like, it's just like I don't know. It just stresses me out like that. Like you don't. There's like almost like no documentation of you like living. You
Yeah.
know, like if you pass away, like it could
No,
take
nobody don't know.
months for someone to even maybe find out. You know,
That's
like
like that's what like I won't say it's my regret, but that's what I'm scared the most. Like finding out like my uncle died like years ago. Like I don't know if he's alive or dead right now.
yeah,
So like
that's
it's then
awful.
like it could be like tomorrow. Like oh so and so died. Like dang, that's my seeing him. He was begging me for change.
Yeah, yeah, dude, that's crazy. It's just blows my mind to think that it makes I guess it makes you put in perspective, your own our own struggles and our own things that we go through, and it makes you kind of look at things a little differently when you hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
What if there's something that people could take, because I know we got a little deep and a little morbid for a minute. If there's something that people could take out of all of these situations that we just described, what would be like a positive that they could take out of that?
Basically, like if you see somebody like struggling with anything, try your best to help them out. Even if they say no, try to help somebody out that need help. Don't just like walk over them, like see them struggling. You're not trying to help out. Like help the best way you can.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think too, for me, what I would say is like if you're hearing the things, and if you're listening on Spotify the day after, or if you're watching right now live, or you're watching some day after, um, and you're hearing the things that Curtis is talking about or that I'm explaining, and you're like, oh my goodness, these things are crazy, whatever. Just know like Curtis went through some of these incredible things, these like things that you wouldn't want other people to go through, and he's still here talking to me right now, and he's gonna be working to continue bettering himself as he's been saying. And I think like if there's a silver lining in any of the things that you've been saying today, I think like that would be what I would get out of it, is that like this man has been through this many things, and he's still able to come on this podcast and laugh with me and joke with me, and then talk about his aspirations to hopefully get into business and help people out in and around wherever he is.
Yeah, it's like I want to help out Wisconsin and like also Chicago, which is where I'm from. Like
Mm-hmm.
I gotta help because I grew up seeing like homeless people, like seeing drug addiction people, so I know how it is. So I want to like dig deep into Chicago and get them out.
Yeah, what do you think? Like, I mean, I think too. Like, I think giving back is a huge thing, and it's something that like I hope that one day if and when things could work out here on in the media stuff, I would love to build some facilities and whatnot, and just give people places to kind of get away from all that kind of stuff and put
Yeah,
money in the pockets of families that are hurting, and give it's the big thing is you got to put systems in place for people to be successful, right? Because someone could come from any situation and sure they can make it out and they can be successful, but why are you making it so hard for these people to make it out in certain areas of our country? And I think it stems back to a lot of malpractices from way back when. But I think that if we can start putting the money in these people's hands and in their sectors, places like these certain places in Chicago and in Milwaukee and Nevada, I think we could start to see a change, because it's really just
yeah,
about the accumulation of wealth, and there's not a lot of money in certain areas, and that's what happens. There's not a lot of opportunities then.
yeah. That's what I feel like. Money is like it mess up a lot of stuff. Basically, like you
I'm
ain't got money, you don't have nothing. Basically,
That's true. It's true. It's sad, but it's true. Um, It is sad, but it's true. Now that's pretty much all I've got off the top for you, Curtis. Now we're still okay to keep going if you've got any questions for me. I know Jamal had some teaser questions for me last week that I wasn't expecting, so I don't know if you have anything.
That's hero.
Well, he asked
Oh,
me.
he
Yeah, he asked me last week, like if I remembered who my first episode was with and stuff like that. So I always tell my guests like they're more than welcome to ask me a couple questions once we're done.
Yeah, I just want to know like what made you do YouTube? Because I know you were doing music stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually heard that. And then I just look up one day and seen Detox. I'm like, now you got YouTube.
Yeah.
So it made me do that.
Well, I wanted to do a podcast, getting to meet interesting people like yourself, and even before I had moved to Janesville, I love talking shit. I love talking. I like getting to hear how other people think and hear how my thoughts differ from theirs and whatnot, because I think that's where we really get to learn, is when we get to hear how other people are thinking and everything like that. So I really enjoy hearing other people's perspectives, and I was working with one of my homies at this bar, and he did video stuff. Like he wanted to do video, and like he knew a lot about cameras and everything, and he's going to school for film now. He wasn't at the time, but he wanted to, and we just decided he didn't want to be in front of the camera, but he wanted to work with cameras. And I was like, yo, I want to do this. I want to be in front of it. I want to talk to people. I want to get to know people. And we just made it happen. That was it. We just kind of decided.
That, like, the situation you went through, I'm actually going through that right now with my brother. Like, he didn't want to be on the camera. He wanted to record.
Okay.
So like how should we do that? Like, cause like I would ask questions, but like I have to know like what to ask and like be comfortable with asking that question to that person.
Yeah. So a large part of it is like being able to read people and not like you gotta there's no like insane science. I'm not like I'm not amazing at it yet, right? But it's a big part is one, being able to listen, because the biggest thing is your best if you're gonna interview people, if that's what you're planning on doing, like you mentioned, you got to be able to really hear what they're saying, because then you're able to, it's usually the follow-up question that's your best question. It's usually, I asked something, you gave me this little thing, and then I'm like, if I'm listening, I can usually hear what it is I want to ask next out of what you just said.
Right.
And it depends on who you're talking to too. Having interesting people, it makes it easier. People that aren't, how we talked before we got on air, and I said, is there anything you don't want to talk about? When people are just open books and they're like, yeah, I'm good with anything, that can be intimidating because there's so many possibilities, but it's also great because that that you can just be honest and ask honest questions. And I think too, if you want to do YouTube for the purpose of helping people, like you were saying before, like talking about stuff you've been through and everything, you can do vlogging content, you can do podcasts, you can do anything, to help people. And just talk about your own stuff too. You got a camera and anything? You guys pick out a camera yet or anything?
No, we actually I actually want to like wait until this happened, like to get it out there, like before we like dig deep into it, like get a like basically like tips from you, basically how to start it.
Yeah, I mean I think too, if you got an iPhone,
Yeah.
You got like one of the newer ones?
Yeah, 12.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not 11, my bad.
Yeah. 11. Okay, that's still good. So like, as long as you got like an iPhone, like even like the 10 and up, even lower, like the 9 is probably fine too. They all shoot in full HD. I think the 11 and 12 can shoot in 4K too. You can. Like
some settings or something you gotta change.
Yeah, but I mean, just shooting a regular video on there is gonna be good enough. I have from when we started, because I wasn't sure if I was gonna get a camera yet or not. I have a couple cameras in the studio and whatnot, but I originally bought this. It's like $100. It's a gimbal. It'll just hold your phone straight so that it won't be wobbly if your brother was holding it or whatever, right? And then you just need like a little microphone. They sell little iPhone microphones, shotgun ones, to get good audio, and you don't even need that to start, honestly. You just need the iPhone, and as long as what you're talking about or what you're doing is interesting, that's all that matters. And if you're putting your heart into it, which I think like you guys would.
Okay.
So yeah, I think too, you're a funny guy. I think you incorporate some of your personality into there, and I think it would do well.
Yeah, I kind of want to like start on that. Like I feel like that helped me out a lot, and I can like help people out like behind the camera, like on the camera, anything. Like help people out like just in like different states.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the internet, right? Is being able to the reach it's endless. I mean, it's crazy because there's so much competition with like media, like where it's like it's so hard to get people to subscribe to myself or to you or to whoever because they got all these big creators that are already a million times better than us at the time. But as long as you stick with it and you keep grinding, you can really do it and you can make a difference.
That's what I'm trying to get to it now.
I'll definitely be there to help you. Get on TikTok too. Oh yeah, McKenna said to get on TikTok. TikTok, you got TikTok?
I tried it and I'm uncomfortable like being on camera. This is the first time I ever like did an interview, anything.
Yeah.
Like this is the first time. So, like I have to break that like that's whatever you want to call it, that shell like being shy.
Yeah.
Once I get that, like, I can do anything.
I would do so. Here's the thing. So you're gonna first. I will say before you start YouTube, you're gonna have to break that, or at least start learning it. And I would say TikTok will be a great way to start because you can kind of get the shield of the music. You can just do the trends that everybody's doing and dance to that. I don't really do those that much. I've done them in the past and whatever, but I mostly just repost my content from here, or I post stuff about like. Well, I'm going to be starting this week posting stuff about my how I make my music and everything on there because a lot of people are into that. So,
you said do the challenges. I can't dance. You seen it in person.
I've seen you not be able to dance, but
not good.
TikTok dances are different. You can they're simple. You can do those. I believe in you.
I'll try. I'll try one.
Can you do some? Do you think you could do some thirst trap TikToks? You know what that is?
I'm stiff. I can't like my body don't. It's just injuries.
That's a good little move right there. I like the little shoulder move you had going on right there. I was gonna say back when we lived in Janesville. I don't know if you remember this. You posted some selfies on Instagram and Logan Bradley screenshotted all of them and put them in a group chat with us so that we could keep them.
That like. Ever since that day, that's why I'm like, he's weird. Like, yeah, it's like after that, I'm like, it was basically like a friendship. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, he was taking shirtless pictures to
copying off me.
Yeah, and it was
it wasn't good for me.
It was a fun time for me. It was awesome.
You all three of y'all.
Yeah, that was great.
In my head, like fuck them.
That's a beautiful thing. We probably made you more shy to be on camera. That's our fault.
I feel like y'all basically like open me up basically. When I first came, I was shy. I ain't talk to nobody but Sean basically. Yeah. It was like I guess when I started hanging like y'all, I started opening up to everybody else.
Yeah. We tried, man. We were trying to open you up. I knew there was some greatness inside you. A funny dude.
Yeah, greatness. That then I was inviting crazies up. So yeah, that's that whole thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people popping up. People in the shower.
That hey, it happens. It's we had many other run-ins after you weren't living with us. Logan was great at causing trouble around the apartment.
It wasn't just me then.
Yeah, no, trust me, I think he surpassed you very easily.
I think it's the couch. It's the whole little front room vibe.
It just breeds trouble. That's all it is. Well, that's all I got for you, Curtis. Unless you got what else you got? Real quick, if you had to say one thing to our audience before you left, what are your closing words to the Detox audience?
Never give up.
I like that.
Do whatever you go through.
Deal. I love it. Well, let me say real quick, thank you to Curtis for being on the show. I appreciate you coming on and hanging out.
You're welcome anytime. I'll come back on for part 2.
Absolutely. We'll get you here in person someday soon too. That will be a lot of fun. I'm thinking about getting the fucking whole URock team on because I've damn near had everybody on anyways. So I think it will be a fun episode to figure out. I'd have to figure out how I'm going to do it with the mics and everything, but we could do it.
Yeah, we got to have everybody get the corona test. And then I'll get in and jump. One more practice with Jamal.
That would be a lot of fun. He'd kick our ass probably. But I want to say, thank you again, Curtis, for being on the show. Thank you to everybody who tuned in live. Thank you to everybody if you're listening whenever you're listening, if you're listening on Spotify, if you're listening and watching the days after. Thank you. Also, shout out to our patrons. They should be on the screen right now. Thank you to all the people that support the channel. If you're considering supporting the channel and want to become a patron and get exclusive content over on patreon.com, you can go to patreon.com/DarrenRita and subscribe to that for as little as $1, and then you get access to our exclusive videos that are not public on YouTube, which are usually right now are me going through how I make my music and everything like that. So thank you to the patrons that do that. As well as I want to say shout out to Kenosha Auto Insurance for sponsoring another episode of the Detox Podcast. And my Edith Rita just retracted a message saying that it would be a great episode to have the whole team, but it would be. She's right. That's all I've got, Curtis. Thank you. This has been episode 86 of the Detox Podcast.